people, family, friends. It's Friday. It's Friday, 20th. I used to remember why the 20th of January was important. I've forgotten it. Something family related, possibly. A birthday, a grandparent's birthday. I've forgotten. Yes, the world of music and art and how it affects us is deep. And it shows in the comments that I've read on my video, as well as watching the slow but gathering awareness that we've lost another great musician. I've only deleted a couple of comments on my David Crosby video because the fact of the matter is that David Crosby mainly hurt himself through his drug abuse. And so the folks whose comments are only to criticize the dark parts of him, that just says more about the person making the comment than about David Crosby. Very clearly to me, it says more about the person making the comment and what's in their head and their heart, as opposed to who David Crosby was. Unlike people in politics whose selfish behavior hurts all of us. It's different. So, passing judgment on someone's personal behavior where, like a David Crosby who has really shown his heart as a human, it's like, that's just sad, But it's part of the human spectrum, isn't it? That some folks just can't see past their own stinky behinds, to try to talk about someone else's as though they are better, and they're not. They're less than. That's what those comments always show me. This person is less than, and that's all you have to offer. It's too bad. I needed to get that out, since I just got up. And I was up a little bit late today. I try to get up by 9, but the way it goes is a lot of times I'll wake up at 5 at first, and then think about getting up, but just lay there, and then I get up at 9. Today I look and it's after 10. I say, okay, I guess I needed that little rest. Hope everyone's okay today. I'm showing this. Woodstock Nation is been of age for the longest. Woodstock Nation is dying, where it's the wheel of life. The passing of these great musicians and artists who touched our lives so deeply also reminds us of our own mortality. We like to just pretend that we're living forever. We just don't want to think about our deaths. But it's a fact of the matter. All of us are, from the moment we're born, we're headed towards the exit door. From the moment we're born. And so it's just reality. And the mortality that we're reminded of is something. But it's something that it's probably a good thing to try to get a hold of. Woodstock. That was a long time ago now, people. See, that's the other thing about this music. This album came out in 1970. It's 2022. Because of the nature of music and how rock music was really the introduction of youth culture into the world, really, in many ways. There's a romance about it. And there's an aspect of it where the music keeps us alive and young forever inside. I feel it. and I like that. It's also, but it's also why I stay current, or try to stay current with what's happening in the world musically and artistically, to see a reflection of where it's at now. Youth culture, really, youth culture is still a very large part of the market or just the world. So it stands to reason that this is really hard for many people to see, to feel our aging, and to see our favorite artists pass away. So I haven't played this yet. I'm glad I still have it. I'm going to play some of this today. I had a chance to go to Woodstock. For the longest time, I couldn't remember her name. I had a girlfriend. She was a friend, not a girlfriend, but a girlfriend. I was still that young that, I really liked girls for friends. Actually, I still do, without the complications. Chris was her name. And I met Chris through, how did I meet Chris? Anyway, she was going to go to Woodstock. This was before Woodstock happened, and she was talking about it and trying to get people to go with her. And she asked me, and I really wanted to go. I remember this. I was just 14 or 13 or 14. And so I asked my mom. My parents were already separated, divorced, or I don't even know if they ever got divorced. They were separated. You know something? I don't even know if my parents got divorced. Stephanie, did our parents actually legally get divorced? I never thought about that before, until this moment. But anyway, Chris even came over to the house. You were probably around, Stephanie, won't remember this, but I remember we worked on my mom hard, both Chris, about how we could do this, that we could do this, that it was safe. And my mom wasn't having none of it. And you know what? My girlfriend Chris went to Woodstock. She was only 14, and she made it back in one piece. And to hear about Woodstock, I also know someone else that I used to work with who was at Woodstock, an older guy. But to hear directly from her back at the time when she got back, it just completely cemented my romantic view of what music could potentially do for people in the world. And she was there in the mud and the shit. She was there in the actual reality of it, and the long food lines and some of the misogynistic stuff that did go down, because men are men, unfortunately. But still, it didn't dim the overall picture, especially she was there. We shared it. It just actually made it stronger. My idea of a hippie dream. That's what I call it. My hippie dream of what the world could be. And music was a way for that to happen. So, still reflecting upon and we'll be reflecting for a while, and we'll have to roll that into the next person that we lose, because it's just reality. Along the lines of music, though, if it's okay with you, Richard, I'm going to go ahead and review Blue Statue by No On, or is it? I get confused. I think the name of the band is Blue Statue. Yeah, Blue Statue. Listen to this. Actually, I went ahead and just kind of like a palate cleanser. I have been listening to a lot of Japanese music, that group, the YMO family, plus the adjunct, Richard Barbieri, Bass Communion, stuff like that. I love that music, I do. So I was into that, and John Hassel yesterday took a break and listened to this Blue Statue. And I like this. Some of the songs remind me of Wire. I love Wire. It's kind of the words just don't connect. Okay, just the words just aren't connecting. But to me, that's beside the point. Especially when the music is able to hit me, and the music on this kind of hits me pretty good. Excuse me, Blue Statue. It's a guitar-based band. They still exist. Some of you might like this. You know, like I said, the band that comes to mind, they don't sound like Wire, but something about some of the songs reminds me of Wire. That's a huge compliment. It is. Wire are amazing. So Blue Statue, No On. Check it out. Find out. You might really like it. You might really like it. I'm going to look here and see if there's any records sitting down here that I haven't talked about. And there aren't, because like I said, I have a life. Yeah. I don't spend the entire day in this room. And even when I do, I love it. When I do, there's a noise concert tonight. Brian Day is in town. And he's going to be playing with Jay Creamer. They want me to come. I haven't decided if I'm going to go. It's not because of the weather so much. It is a little bit, but it's more like just kind of where I'm at, you know. I really am honestly at the point where, the main way to get me to come out is to let me play. So, interestingly enough, this concert tonight, I'm not part of it, but I could go down there with some gear and participate seamlessly. I know I can, because I played with Brian Day and Jay Creamer. We had a band called Platform. They're instrument makers. I know how they operate. And I also understand improvisation and sound, responding to sound, and also the idea of just letting things happen. So it's on my radar. I may go to the show, but I also thought to myself, it would be just as well if I just was a guest and just played. That would be more fun, actually. So, as always, folks, it's important for us to try to cultivate a sense of unity. It really is, especially in light of the reality of mortality. We're all dying. What are we fighting each other for? Do you have a good answer for that? I don't think you do. We should be fighting for unity.